Hello everyone and welcome to a new footprint setup video. In this video I will show you a live trade that I just executed a few minutes ago with GBP USD and explain you why I've decided to go short. And by the way, if you want to see my USD CHF long setup, make sure to hit the like button and I'll post it with the next video. Before, as always, we start right off with the technical analysis. You should know that the current market conditions are not that easy to trade, especially in the forex market, as it is very volatile and a little bit chaotic because of the fundamental situation, as well as the fact that we are heading into holidays. Christmas is coming and institutional traders are leaving the desk, so we got less volume, less auction activity in the market, and so more volatility. We can take advantage of this volatility if we are looking for nice sniper entries and very clean reversal setups. If you are a beginner in trading, make sure that you rather stay out or trade with paper money. Don't risk your real money because, like I said, the market conditions currently are pretty hard, pretty tough. So let's start with the technical analysis. So what do we see? We had an uptrend, right? And this uptrend broke right here at this trend line. By the way, if you would like to see this trade from GBP USD, let me know because I posted it on TradingView and traded the setup to the downside. First of all, we always want to make sure that we take advantage of the current trend, and as we can see, there was an uptrend and this uptrend is currently over. Look at this trend line and you can see a nice and clean breakout. Also notice this resistance and this back support area, so we can assume that all this has been a fake out, a clean double top pattern, then the breakout below the neckline of the double top pattern, below the trend line, a very beautiful short setup. So we can assume that this uptrend is currently over and we want to follow this move to the downside. Let's have a look at the horizontal resistance zones that we can trade. We have a clean, or we had a clean support area right here, and we want to check whether the support turned into a resistance or not. And we can see the market has been pretty choppy around this level. As you can see, fake out, fake out, fake out, another fake out, then a breakout, a retest, and a fake to the upside. So the market was kind of dancing around the support area, and we finally had the breakout here and the retest, so we could assume that the market tends to move down here. Now we see there has been a support area which is now turning into a resistance zone. This is why I was looking at this level. Additionally, we can see there is a nice downtrend channel. We connect the lower highs again and we can see here is a nice downtrend channel, choppy with fake outs here, fake outs there, here another retest, but overall we can say there's a tendency to the downside. So I was looking at this level and wanted to make sure that I trade a reversal right here to follow the current impulse to the downside. This is the impulse, this is the correction, and I wanted to trade it to the downside. So now look at the 5-minute chart and we can see the price moved up, we had a fake out above this resistance, and then the retest and impulse to the downside. Now we're gonna look at the footprint chart and I'll show you why I've decided to follow this move. All right, let's see what we got here. First of all, I've already marked up the resistance areas. This red zone at the top is the resistance we've marked up in the chart, and the resistance below was a potential support area in the smaller time frame, which is very close to the VWAP, and we should always be careful when the price gets close to the VWAP, as it could act as a support zone, which is also the reason why I've decided to go in here and not here if I would have had the chance with the retracement, because then the risk reward would have been very bad, as we have to assume that the price could bounce off the VWAP. So what do we see? We see a very slow up move, as this happened at the opening, and this is the opening of the London session. The market moved up very close to this resistance. We suddenly have higher volume as it's the opening, when we have a very negative delta. So we already know, lots of sellers here right at the resistance. Now we never want to trade a one touch of a resistance and want to see what happens as soon as we get a second retest. So we got some sellers trying to push price price down, but volume is pretty thin, and we get a nice break through this resistance with imbalances on the buy side, and up there we had a cluster of buyers but no impact anymore close to this candle where we had lots of sellers. So what happens is we have a positive delta, we have a higher volume, which could be a breakout if this zone is going to hold, but we know there were already lots of sellers, so we want to make sure that if we want to trade a breakout, that we're going to get a retest of this imbalance zone and then a switch to buyers. We want to see front pushing or aggressive buying. In this case, we see a retest, probably buy limits down here, trying to participate on this breakout. Up here an exhaustion, and suddenly lots of sellers. Now look at the delta and the volume. The volume is way higher than the volume from the breakout, and we have way more sellers than buyers in this candle. So price moves below the resistance again, and we still have a negative delta. So sellers are currently dominant. We don't see any type of absorption, nothing. It seems like the market is not really interested in buying this breakout. So market continues to the downside. We got even more volume, so more sellers are currently stepping in, and now we are hitting the VWAP. And at the VWAP, the market seems to find a little bit of support as we have again very high volume, a negative delta where we see sellers are slowly getting out as the delta is losing sellers here. Then we get a delta shift into the positive territory, so we got more buyers than sellers, a little bit of absorption here, and then finally a retest of this area. Now note this, the market moves up, and look at this. You have a very huge seller order, 375 right at the VWAP of sellers, and the price moved up. But look what happens when the price moves up. There is no volume. This is an exhaustion. We don't have any imbalances that could be justification for the move up. Nothing. It is a very weak move. We have a lot of sellers here, or we have this huge order, huge volume, the price moves up and then instantly moves down again, and we still have the sellers here. The sellers are dominant. We don't see any absorption here as price just moves down, and then we get back to the VWAP. So now I'm just waiting for more sellers to come in, and I've seen right there close below the VWAP that a lot of sellers were coming in with nice two imbalances here, double stack imbalance, and I decided to short. So it's a classic fake out then impulse correction move, but important here was that price is going to move below the VWAP, and we see that sellers are still dominant. We knew there were lots of sellers in there. There were lots of sellers, and with the attempt to the upside, we had an exhaustion. There was no open interest in buying, so it was pretty clear for me. As soon as I see more sellers are coming in, then I'm going to short. So once again, a quick recap. We had the opening right here, we had high volume, we know there are a lot of sellers right at the resistance. We remember that, yeah, for the next move. We want to see another retest. We get a retest, a breakout through this area. Now it could be a breakout, but we see up there, no impact by buyers anymore. Suddenly, lots of sellers coming in, way more sellers than buyers, and a way higher volume. Then a break below this resistance again, back to the VWAP, a little correction with exhaustion. Then again, strong sellers right there as well as here. We had no POC shift in this candle, but in this candle the POC instantly moved down back and close to the VWAP, and then we get the breakout and we execute as soon as we see imbalances and very strong sell power. That's basically it. Alright, we are about to hit that take profit. We are right at the strong support zone, close to the low from yesterday. We see aggressive selling here, but not a lot of impact. The volume is pretty thin. Right here we had high volume, but aggressive buyers here, so I'm a little bit concerned about potential absorption. What I'm gonna do now is, I don't really care about these few pips. I will move my stop loss above this candle and save some of the profits, and hope that it's gonna pump through the support now and hit my take profit. If not, doesn't matter. I've made good profit for the day, and considering that we have such choppy market conditions, I would say I can call it a day anyway. So we have a sign of absorption, but let's see, this could just be profit saves by limit orders. If more aggressive buyers are coming in, the market will probably run into my stop loss, but I'm not really concerned about that. Never mind, I'm gonna take the profit now. I'm gonna close that position. Too much sell pressure, no impact. All right guys, that's it. That was the trade. I hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, if you want to see the GBP USD breakout setup that I've traded, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. As always, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.